Hey, good morning, everybody. Cowboy Tim here, coming to you from beautiful Sarasota, Florida. Dressed like a cowboy in Florida. What's the point? Well, we only get a few days of cool weather down here, and today is one of those days. It's comfortable to wear pants and a long sleeve shirt, so I thought I'd bring out my rear hangers and dress up. But that's not what this is about. This is not a costume video. This is about an important thing that you're not going to believe when you hear what I'm going to tell you regarding your retirement. First of all, I'm a little bit on the mend right now because of something I caught. And I got a lot of medications and a little time has gone by, and so now I'm on the mend and I'm almost actually a lot better. In fact, my voice, I can hear myself. Yesterday it wasn't near this good. So I'm really happy with the increase in my health, rebounding every 24 hours now. And what was surprising to me is when I did get sick, and I don't get sick that often. It wasn't that long ago though when I was ill, I had COVID. It's amazing to me about how fast when your health decreases just from a germ, a virus, like that. You know, it's not a real slow thing. You know, it might take a day, you start feeling something, you go like, I got it. But after you get it and a day goes by and then you can't get out of bed the next day, you feel like crap. You know, that's just how fast your health can go from, hey, I'm fine, I'm cool, to, oh boy, I got it. And what am I going to do about it? So you say, what does all this got to do with retirement? I'll tell you what it's got to do with it. And it's very important. It's why I'm bringing you this video. You know, I've made videos, several of them. I have a playlist actually about collecting Social Security and collecting it at the earliest possible age. I am a 100% advocate on you getting your Social Security at the first day you can get it. And that's at the age of 62 years old. I will be 66 years old in only a few days. So I've been collecting Social Security for 4 years now. And once let's see, once I go 8 more months, I'm actually going to be full retirement age. So if I were to have waited for just 8 more months, I could have collected more money than I'm collecting now per month. But wait, it said you're supposed to get more money, but it's not more money. All right, you're confusing me already, Tim. Let's get to the point. You get more money by not taking $100,000 and letting the government keep that money. And then they give you a few hundred more dollars than you would have gotten at 62 if you wait 5 years. So you say, okay, it doesn't sound too good already. In fact, it isn't any good. I've got all the numbers right here to show you. But what I want to do before I get into that is I want to explain a couple of things. The information you're going to get is my personal preference, and it is actually the decision that 9 out of 10, I've never met anybody, only a few, that have ever waited past the age of 62. But yet when I started making these videos about collecting your Social Security at 62, I started getting some pushback out there in the YouTube land. And I think I know what it is. These are people that make money on you continuing to work, paying taxes, and also to continue using their services as a financial counselor, of which they make money. Whether you lose, make, or whatever, they get paid. You know, kind of like a bookie. He doesn't care whether you win or lose the game. He's going to get the vigorish. And that's exactly what these financial counselors have an interest in. They have an interest in what? Just like anybody else, pretty much, especially the government. What's in it for me? So think about the government, for example. Would they rather give Social Security to somebody for potentially 20 years? Or would they rather pay it to somebody for maybe 5 or 8 years? Well, obviously, if you pull yourself out of the working class and you're no longer putting in the till those big federal and state taxes if you have them in your state, and paying into the Social Security Administration as well, then what good are you, right? You're no longer a payer. You're just a getter, a receiver. And they're like, we're in, like the insurance companies, life insurance, auto insurance, they like to receive payments, but they don't want to give payments. I mean, it's a profit deal. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to understand that, right? It's like, look, if you started collecting Social Security at 62 and you live to be, 80 years old, they're going to pay you for a long time. And so they give you a little incentive and they try to trick you with a little clickbait saying they'll give you more money every month if you'll just wait. If you'll wait another 5 years. Hang on, this is green tea from Starbucks with some honey in it to help my throat because I'm on the mend like I told you. And I gotta tell you something. That's the best hot tea I ever drank in my life. I've had tea before, but this is the best I've ever had in my life. It really is good. So let's get back to it before I get into the numbers. Folks, there's 3 leading causes of death in this country, in the USA. Heart disease, cancer, and going to the doctor. That's right, medical errors are the 3rd leading cause of people dying in the USA. Did you also know that the average age, it goes up and down, is 73 years old for a male in the USA. It was 77 and now it's down to 73. It fluctuates here and there. But anyway, think about this. Whatever that number is, it's not very high. If you have to wait till you're 62 years old to collect Social Security and the average age is 73, I mean, it's obvious that you've got a lot less runway in front of you than you've got behind you. So you've lived the majority of your life working at your job. I call them prison jobs. I had a prison job most of my life. I got a prison job now, making YouTube videos. Any kind of a job, it's just a saying. But if you want to keep working your prison job all the way until you're 67 years old to get this myth, this more money from the Social Security Administration, and there's even, speculation now that they might run out of money and they will have to cut back 30% or whatever. There are rumors going around. It's a scare tactic, most likely. Not running out of money where you don't get Social Security, but a reduction. And also them increasing the age to start collecting, because so many people start collecting early and they're paying this money out and they're spending money frivolously on wars and silly things and not funding the Social Security fund. But anyway, let's get back to age and how long you're going to be on this earth. Now, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to go tonight. So if you're taken from this world and you're called home to heaven in your 60s, which so many are today, you read about it every day, you know people probably in your own circle, and then you also know people that are in their 80s, even 90. But think about this and be very, very honest. Anybody you've ever met, I live in South Florida, there's plenty of retired people here and upper age, over the age of 73. A lot of females, and males. But look at them, okay? That's gonna happen to me, that's gonna happen to you, should you be lucky enough to live to be 80 or 90 years old. They're not out taking jogs, they're not out playing basketball, they're not water skiing, they're not out doing any of the activities they did 10, 15 years earlier. Some are, because there's always an exception. There's always a Jack LaLanne out there. But for the masses, the majority of people, especially if they don't eat right and keep up their health and exercise and think right, life takes its toll on them, as it does. You go from a baby to the dust, and you start bending over, you start needing walkers, you have a stroke, a mild stroke, you get problems with some of your gizzards, you've got diabetes, you've got a hip replacement, a knee's bad, you got a gimp going on, you need a wheelchair, you need a walker chair, you need all of these things. You're still living, You're still breathing in and out, but your quality of life is what? Would you rather have that, or would you rather be younger? We'd all like to be younger, right? We'd all like to be back in our 40s or whenever our prime was. So think about this. If the average age is only in the mid-70s, and hang on, and you're going to be turning 62 in 2025, and you were thinking about retirement, you're watching YouTube videos, you're watching people out traveling around their RVs, or they're going to the beach, they're just traveling around their cars, they're reading books, they're not having to go to their prison job anymore, then, if that looks appealing to you, it should, because it is the life that you need to pursue. I'm telling you right now, folks, I've been doing this for 4 years now. I've been retired, and I have no regrets. About getting that extra money I could have in another 8 months, forget it. Now, I could have made more money annually than I'm collecting on Social Security of what they give me easily, because, you got to make a lot of money to live today with inflation, right? But all that money is gross. You have to take out for your car, your transportation, what it costs to go to work, clothing, lunches, and then the taxes you got to pay, and all of these different things. So what do you really net? And then what do you get? You go to work, you got politics there, you got stress, you've got just so much crap, dealing in traffic, going home, coming back, different seasons change, you get stuck in that snow for 3 hours going home. It's just that same grind. And here you are, over 62 years old, still working at a prison job when you could have been retired at 62 or even younger if you worked at a job for a long time, like one of my siblings. He's getting ready to retire at 60, and he's going to have full benefits. So he made it even earlier. But at 62, I was actually forced into it because I was self-employed. The pandemic came along. They shut the economy down. I was not an essential business. I was in marketing and advertising that required personal close contact, making sales calls, and I was shut down. But it was very fortuitous because then I searched on YouTube about, do I collect Social Security now or later? The very first YouTube video I came on was a guy that is already in his late 70s that said, get it as soon as you can. And he was believable. And so I'd already been looking at videos like that for 2 years before I turned 62. And I was thinking, man, here's what I'll do. I'll get my Social Security check at 62. I'll still do my little business I have, which was kind of a part-time side hustle, really. I was very fortunate in my career that I worked for myself. And I would still do that a little bit to supplement that Social Security, but I would have like $1,700 free money coming in every month before I even got out of bed. And then I would just add to that by working a little bit, and that was going to be a game changer. If I can make equal to that, I mean, I didn't have any debt, and I'm by myself. I thought, this is the way to go. So I think I was onto something there. So I started thinking, I'll have all my overhead covered, my rent, my utilities. That'll all be paid. I won't have to sweat that anymore the rest of my life. The government is going to give me my free money, my check, and I can just use that no matter where I live, whether I rent, buy, whatever, as long as it's within that dollar range, I have a free life. All I've got to do is make a little bit of money to eat, money to travel with, buy clothes, spend on golf, whatever I want to do. And, I'm a hustler. I'm not lazy. I didn't expect the Social Security alone would support me. I knew it was going to cover my overhead, but that was good enough. I still knew I needed to work a little bit, but I also knew that I was going to be able to pull out of that prison job from that 40, 50 hours a week most people work. I never worked that in my life because as a self-employed person, I was very fortunate. I could make a lot of money working a lot less. But most people have to work 40, 50 hours a week. They work for somebody. They're W-2 people. But just imagine if you could take $1,700 of your salary that you're getting right now, and whatever hours you've got to put in at your job, you could just work that much less. They told you, we're still going to give you your $1,700, but however long you had to work for us to make that $1,700, we'll give you off every month, and you just work the balance. Well, man, that'd be a great deal, wouldn't it? Well, even a better deal is just to take your $1,700, because that's what I get. I use it as an example. It's about the same. It's a little bit more than some, and it's a lot less than others. But $1,700 and making another $1,700, either working for yourself if you've got a skill set of painting, remodeling, working on cars. You're a female, you might want to do house cleaning, dog sitting, dog walking, whatever. Not necessarily you have to be a female to do that. I mean, a male could do that. House sitting, walking dogs and whatever. Whatever you want to do. Okay, you have a skill set. And I have none. I have a talking skill set. I'm a communicator. I can't build a doghouse. It's one of my sayings I've had for all my life. I've never been an electrician, a plumber, a contractor. I can't do any of that. Ever since I was a little boy and went out and sold newspaper subscriptions door to door, that's what I stuck with my entire life. And I was pretty good at it. So anyway, you got a skill set, and you can build things, you can do things, and you can do handyman work. There's a million ways. Well, let's say you're like me. You got no skill set other than talking. Be a greeter at Walmart. Work at Target. Work at a golf shop. Pass out the golf carts to people and get free golf. There's so many little side hustles that you can do. But remember what I said in the beginning of the video, that they're talking about the money running out. So there's another motivation that you need to consider if you're going to be turning 62 years old in 2025 to get your money. Because we don't know what the future is. Think about this, folks. Even if you're way younger than me, you remember what happened in March of 2020. Who saw that coming? Who saw this thing called a pandemic, where they shut the whole economy down in the USA? And then all this infighting with our politics and wars and rumors of wars. These could be last days, folks. These could be the times where not only can you be taken out tomorrow by an illness or get hit by a bus or something like that, a heart attack. But folks, the world is very, very curious, very mysterious right now. There's so many things that, AI and all these dangerous things that are going on and arguing between world governments and stuff. You could see another shutdown. You could see another disease spread. You just don't know. No one is promised tomorrow. One of my big sayings, no one is promised tomorrow. So you're saying, all right, you're leading up to it. You're making some points. What about this collecting at 62? The tea bag is stuck on the hole. All right. I've been collecting 4 years. This is my birthday month. And like I said, I get $1,700 a month. And we're going to use an example of two individuals, two brothers. And one collects at 62 and one wants to wait and keep working his prison job and collect at 67. And we're going to say that they're both going to get, the first brother's going to get $1,700 like I get, and it never goes up. But of course it does. There's a bee flying around here. Of course it does. We get what they call COLA, cost of living adjustment. Every year they give us more money on our Social Security. It's so much money you won't even recognize it. That's right. You won't, because it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. In 40 years, the most they ever gave an increase in Social Security was 2 years ago, I think it was, of 8-something%, which worked out to over $100, almost $150 for me, which was phenomenal. And if that was the increase every year, oh man, we'd be golden. This year I think we got, I don't know, 40 bucks. But then they raised the Medicare cost of Part B by $10. So you net $30. Hardly worth mentioning. But would I take it? Of course I'll take it. It's money I'm going to be getting every month for the rest of my life. And I've already received my last check for 2024. My next Social Security check is with the new increase. So I'll already see more money. And I'm excited about it. Even if it's $10, I'll take it. So let's get to the numbers. Two brothers, 162, and he starts collecting. And the other one says, you know what you're talking about. I've been hearing about you get less. You know, you're going to be penalized. You get 30% less. And my financial counselor told me, stick with him and stick it out. Keep working. Keep paying into the system. And keep using him to do all my investments. And I'll make money and he makes money and it'll all be better. So we'll see. We're going to see right now. This is going to shock you. And these videos, of which some of this information will be the same, has shocked thousands and thousands of people. I've received millions of views on these videos. And I'll continue to make them because every year there are new people that are searching on YouTube and on the internet about should they collect Social Security or not, especially with this new information about it running out of money and them taking it away and raising the age to get it and all these kind of things. So people are curious. So I make these videos to help people out. And I have received endless emails and comments on these videos of people thanking me. And thanking me for what? Because they never knew the math of how the truth is. And they've always believed in that myth that's been promoted for years and years and years about you getting penalized by taking it early. And a lot of people actually didn't even know they could collect their Social Security at 62 because they've heard about getting Medicare in the earliest age for that is 65, and they thought they would wait till then, and that would be the first time they could actually get it, that they come together. They didn't even know that at 62 you can collect. If you want the most money from the Social Security office in your pocket, in your lifetime, there's no better time for anything, folks, than now, because tomorrow isn't promised to anybody. A dollar, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. So let's go over it right now without further ado. Love that green tea. All right. Got it for you right here, folks. And let's begin with the two brothers. Brother one, he says, I'm out. I'm quitting my prison job. I contacted the Social Security Administration 3 months ago before turning 62, so I get my check at 62. You actually have to be 62 and a month. So you're going to get your first check at 62 in 1 month. And I start collecting. And I'm going along. I'm working a little side hustle. I'm traveling in my RV. I'm still using that last bit of good youth, maybe the primest years of my life, not even the primest years, but the last of the prime years before I turned 67, because there's an exponential change in our health from 62 to 67. Believe me. I mean, it really changes. So, 5 years goes by. I've collected $1,700 a month. I never got a COLA. We're going to keep this simple. It stayed at $1,700. It's etched in stone. I never got another penny. But it was $20,400 every year that I collected. 5 years later, I've collected $102,000 in my bank, in my pocket, plus the money that I earn. Nobody wants to sit at home in a chair and drink Geritol. Everybody wants to get out and do a little something, make a couple of dollars. It's good for the self-esteem. But who the heck wants to work 40 or 50 hours a week when you can get some free money coming in already? So I say the latter is the smarter way to go. You quit that prison job, you get you a part-time, doing what you want to do. You don't need the benefits or anything because you're collecting already $1,700 a month. So I started doing YouTube and it became monetized and I earned from it. But others went to work at Walmart. Others started making cabinets. Others started fixing their friends' cars. Others, do whatever they do. They work at a flower shop, Walmart, Target. I mean, they're paying $15 an hour now. Some people are stockers at grocery stores. They like to get up early in the morning and be off by 8 o'clock in the morning and have the rest of their day to go golfing, sit on the beach, whatever. I met so many people that are drawing Social Security at golf courses that hand me the keys to my golf cart and wipe down my clubs when I come back in, that are doing it just for free golf, some extra money, and something to do. And they're around other people, they're meeting people. So working, some people will say, oh, well, if you're not just sitting at home doing nothing, drinking Geritol, you're not really retired. Folks, don't listen to that silliness talk. At 62, you're gonna sit at home? No. And is $1,700 gonna provide you a life that is gonna afford you to go out and do what you like to do? No. But 1,700 times 2 will, especially if you don't have any debt and you're a minimalist. You live with what you need only. Who needs 2 lawnmowers and a big garage and a big house? Maybe you understood the fact that you need to downsize, get a condo, buy an RV, buy a mobile home, roommate. I don't know, but get your housing costs, and that's just a place to recharge your battery. Now you say, well, I don't want to rent, I want to own something because as I get older, I got to have my own place. All right, let's say you owned a home all your life. Sell it, take your equity and buy a little condo or something. Pay cash for it. All right, now, I made $102,000 in those 5 years. And here it comes. My twin brother says, I'm collecting today. And guess what? I'm going to get $2,200 a month. You started out with 17. Look at me. I'm getting 500 more bucks. I said, okay, well, I've already gotten $102,000, remember? And he says, oh, okay. So he collects his $2,200 for 6 more years. That would take us both to the age of 73. The average age of a lifespan in this country for a male. The average, okay? At $1,700 a month that I got for 11 years, that would take me to 73, I would now have collected $224,400. So my twin brother, he got $2,200 a month. He picked up another 500 bucks, but he only had 6 years to collect before he turned 73, the average lifespan, and his total draw was $158,400. I got $224,400 been sent to me and deposited into my bank for the last 11 years. That's a huge difference. But at $66,000 more money is what that is. And for him to collect that $66,000 back at $500 more a month that he's collecting, he'll have to collect another 132 months. Another 11 years. Wow. I mean, it's a no-brainer. But now let's go to the age of 84. Let's take the average age of 73, throw it out the window. Let's go all the way out to 84 years old before him and I both pass away, ironically, on the same day. We had a full life. The last few years were not that active. The last several years might not have been. I mean, we died at 84. 84 is 84, okay? You're not out running around the block. You'd be lucky to walk around the block. So, at 84 years old, by me collecting since 62, I've collected for 22 years of my life. And it came up to $448,800. Almost $500,000. Almost, well, it's $450,000 roughly. $450,000 I collected from Social Security until I was 84 and died. My brother, my twin brother, he collected 5 years later, left $102,000 on the table, but he got 500 more bucks a month. He collected for 17 years because he did go on out to 84. 17 years, 5 years less than me. Guess what he collected? That $500 more a month he got over the 17 years when he started, he got the exact same amount. $448,800. That's what we both end up collecting, except he waited, he worked, he gave up freedom, he gave up his best years of his health and everything else to work for what? Not a penny more. $448,800. He ends up collecting and dying. $448,800. I end up collecting and then dying, but I had 22 years of freedom, 5 more years than he did. Now, some people will say, oh, you're only saying $500 more a month. It's more than that. Well, let me tell you, folks, it could be more and it can be less. It's actually very little difference. Well, let's say that my brother got $700 more a month 5 years later. Pretty considerable amount of money. Then here's what he got. Okay? He collected $2,400 a month, not $22. Okay, he got $700 more than me. Remember how much I got over 22 years? $448,800. If he got the more money, if he collected actually $700 more and died at 84, if he lives to 84, he would collect $452,200, which is a whopping $3,400 more money over 22 years, which worked out to $154.54 more a month. So you tell me, is the same amount of money if it's only $500 more a month, or if it's $3,400 more money over your lifespan, worth you continuing to work at a prison job, 5 years of chancing that you'll be there to collect it, 5 years chancing that your health will not degrade any, and you'll still be as studly as you are at 62 at 67, and then you're going to start crushing it from 67 out to 73 or on out to 84. From 62 to 67, it's a very short time actually compared to what you progress to at 62. Think about a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old. Look how fast they progress. From 12 years old, of what a 12-year-old is able to do, can't marry, can't drive, can't work, can't do anything, has to stay at home. Everything has to be provided for them, their shoes, their clothes, their food, everything. The only thing they can do is go to the bathroom by themselves. A 17-year-old, 5 years later, can do all of the things that a 62-year-old can do. Can work, drive, marry, do whatever he wants. So a 62-year-old that's able to still have most of his faculties or her faculties and health, and then a 67-year-old that the majority of people age and change into, especially the next 3 years after that, and they wait and they postpone, they give up all their life for this few hundred more dollars, for this future world that we don't know what's going to be, for this unsure of Social Security fund. You're going to gamble on all that versus, hey, I got a choice here, A or B. Choice A, quit the prison job, do a little something I want to do, and get some free money coming in, and do whatever I want to do. Nothing, something, all of it, none of it. Choice B, keep doing what I've done my whole life. Working for somebody else or working for yourself. you're a workaholic, paying your taxes in, don't care about the free money. You have it. Give it to somebody else. Because you don't get to save it up, you know. They don't give it back to you. Like later on when you say, oh, I'll take it now. They're like, sorry, pal. You waited. You forfeited that. We'll give you a few $100 more though. We'll give you some crumbs. So I say A, not B. The choice is yours. The choice that most people take, the vast majority, is age 62. Hope you enjoyed the video. Pass it along, give it a like, share it, and crush it.